really investigative reporting.
Yep.
So I think you're very right.
Yes, Rickson.
Yeah. I don't understand. I don't understand. That same guy is a vegan.
He is.
Exactly. So please explain to
Okay,
me how you going to tell me
one of our panel
meat.
is leaving. Chevy, it's nice having you.
What?
Thanks very
Alright,
much, and
see
we
you,
shall
Chevy.
come together again.
Yes.
You know. So from the get go, he already against our culture. No?
Uh huh.
Now,
From the get go. I mean,
now this.
so I don't understand. But
Mr.
I was listening to something the other day, and the change in the culture around this place, I realized that tourists, well, not exactly tourists, but people who come and live on our islands from overseas, tends to want to change a lot of things. You realize turtle is illegal now. They go out for whaling is illegal now. Just now it's going to be lobster. Just now it's going to be kanks. In a minute you can pick wilks.
Exactly.
After a few while, if somebody come here and they you know yeah, at some point you have to pull bricks and say, well, look, these
people of Mustique have already lost their right to go around the rocks and catch a wilk, or to go down in the shore and pick up a conch, or to go by around the rocks and catch a fish.
And you
can't
can't
catch
even
a fish
bathe
either.
even bathe some parts on the island.
They're expected to go 1,000
and
yards from shore. Go ahead.
And these things bother me. These things bother me, but you know,
it's important that we look at and ventilate these issues.
Somebody's making
Now, okay, I want to read one paragraph.
Uh-huh.
This paragraph is taken from a document that I sent to the last International Whaling Commission meeting, and which they voted on.
Okay.
And this is going counter to what is bandied around, that we're breaking the rules, we're using speedboat, and we're not hunting whales the way we used to hunt them. And I'm asking my fellow Vincentians in the diaspora, all who are listening, to judge from this. This paragraph says, whalers continue to practice their cultural traditions of blessing of the boats before the start of the annual hunt, which is followed by a festive party that sets the mood for the hunt and prepares the men psychologically for the dangers of the hunt. The whales, when harpooned, are wrestled near the boat, where they are lanced or bombed until they are dead. In modern times, they are assisted in this process by other whalers who use their normal fishing boats, speedboats, to help kill the whale quickly using the darting gun. This process helps the whalers to satisfy the time to death criteria, which averages 17 to 30 minutes, and make the process a lot more humane than earlier years. Once the whale is dead, the whalers must risk life and limb to venture into waters which can sometimes be infested with sharks, to sew up the mouth of the whale so that water does not enter the stomach and cause it to sink and be lost. The modern use of scuba gear also reduces the loss of dead whales to zero. So, for someone to go to the rest of the world and tell them we are breaking the rules because we're using a speedboat, you're singing from the same song sheet of the whale huggers.
Yep.
And you are not aware that the International Whaling Commission are fully aware, and the knowledge that what we do is there with them. It's first-hand information that we take speedboats to help kill the whale.
That's
so
right.
what are you telling me about? You ain't seen a whale boat in sight? You gotta be crazy.
Go ahead, Rickson.
to add to that statement, I would like to bring the public a little more in touch with the thinking of the IWC.
Well,
These are some statements that are made by the ASSW, Aboriginal Subsistence Whaling Group, Working Group. It says, recognize the constant and complex changes hunting communities undergo. Inter alia, due to external pressures such as political and economic developments, climate change, and other factors affecting the access to natural resources. We have agreed that responding to these changes does not affect their status and rights. Responding to the changes does not affect their status and rights. We have also agreed that any perception that hunts must be depicted as using all hunting and distribution methods for them to be considered Aboriginal subsistence whalers is misplaced. That is not my words, That's the words of the Aboriginal Subsistence Whaling Group assigned and appointed by the International Whaling Commission. Further, we agreed that the use of new technologies to improve animal welfare and the safety and the efficiency of the hunt is to be commended and encouraged. Are we living in archaic times? That the IWC have made decisions giving us the right to capture our 4 whales as we see fit, and then we are trying to tell our people, you're crazy, you are barbaric, you are using wrong methods, you're using speedboats, you're humiliating us, and you want to take away our right, man. Something wrong.
One of the words
Something wrong.
that was used.
No, Mr. B. They want us to strike with stone harpoon
with
and
bow and arrow.
paddling canoe.
Bow and arrow and canoe.
Bow and arrow.
And canoes.
Or take the fork off the dining table and go out and try to cut out a piece and eat it alive.
I believe so. But all these are just to make to have a point to argue.
My friend,
You know.
I think some of these people who are arguing against us believe that the steak that they go down by Basil Bar or they go down to Cobblestone or Mariners Inn and eat come from a can that is made with some mechanical process. It's not an animal that died.
No, it's plant. The plant. These days sometimes I have to just answer them in a sarcastic.
I like the way you use sarcasm.
The plant steak.
Yeah. It was made from
the plant steak. Steak. You don't kill anything to get a steak. You plant it and it grows. You pick it off a tree and put it in plate.
In hotels. Maybe in the kitchen of certain hotels the steaks grow.
You understand what I'm saying? You understand? But I try to make what I love about the situation is that you have people coming out, people in authority coming out and voicing their opinion, like yourself. Mr. Snagging Canawan, they did a lovely job. I don't know if the article came out today, but I saw it.
Yeah.
It was lovely. I love the way, in a subliminal manner, he put them in their place.
You remember?
I love it.
You remember the old days?
And there's some. Yeah.
You remember the old days we were
I didn't even know you was.
The fable that says you spinning straw into gold. And they put the woman in the room and lock her with a bundle of straw, and she gotta say spin straw, spin, and it comes to gold. Well, I want to know who does spin winning to stakes.
Yeah, but I'm trying to make the point to somebody the other day. I say if you go to Africa, you will see African culture, and because of that, you will know, okay, then this is an African country. Go to Canada, you will see Canadian culture, you will know, okay, then this is what they are originally for. Anywhere you go, they have their own culture, their own way of life, and you go in there knowing this. So if you visit in somewhere and you know they are known for certain acts and certain practices, if you're against it, you either avoid it where it is taking place. Else you book for someone else.
Rickson,
You
I'm
don't
glad
come
you
in and
said
change
that.
it.
I'm glad you said that because there's a kinship among whaling communities that I have experienced that I really would like to see more of our people experience it. I've gone to Greenland, cold Greenland, and look at the way the people live there. They catch the whale and they share the whale just like we do it here. The whaling communities get portion of the whale. They sell the whale in the market. They eat the whale. They eat the blubber rock. They've just put soy sauce on the blubber and eat it like that. It's called muktuk, and that is
We have to try it
necessary.
here. That must be a delicacy.
It is a delicacy because they need the fat to give the body heat. The warmth from the fat it helps them
Yeah,
in
yeah.
cold region. So they eat, they share and they live together very much like we have experienced it here, and it is fading. But we need to revive our culture. I went to Alaska, and I can lend you literature that you can read for yourself and become familiar. There's nothing like a tree growing in Barrow in North Alaska. It's just ice. And the people there catch caribou, they catch reindeer, they catch moose, they catch whale, walruses and seals.
Last frontier, the last frontier. Yeah.
They eat what they catch from the sea, including fish. They fish out of holes cut in the ice, called ice fishing. But the family bonds that exist among these people, just like the whaling community here, we bond together, we love each other, we share our whale with each other. Everybody get a bit of oil to drink if you have a cold. You know, that is it, the family culture, history, traditions, we ought not to destroy. And we have one or two people who live comfortable lives in their big mansions.
That is us.
Want to break up
But that is
families and
us.
communities. That can't happen.
Yeah,
It should not.
yeah, but you can't. I can't see. I
Excuse me,
can't.
one minute. Rickson, I have a funny something. Somebody made a very interesting point.
Okay.
The person said, point must be made that come June and tourist boats stop coming.
Right.
If I own a whale watching boat, what must I do?
Park it
with
up.
my whale watching boat and no tourists or whales.
Take
That's the question the boss is
Take the
asking.
advice of the advocates. Go watch birds. We can make lots of money doing that.
But
Watch
but
birds.
I don't think whale is going to impact tourism the way. That's just the people on the other side trying to put in fear in us. So
My
say okay
friend,
then. They have to
have
save
no
tourism, stop
statistics.
the whaling.
They have no statistics.
You understand?
to back it up.
It is impact if you sit down and you listen to most stories that came to the Caribbean. I won't even say Bequia Simmons, but tourists that come to the Caribbean and some that live here will tell you it is one of the most loving islands in the Western Hemisphere.
I can't say a couple because they're not married, but a male and a female from Argentina came to Bequia and had meetings in Padufab. And I met them again in Greenland and in Alaska. And we had our exchanges. But the question I keep asking, who will benefit from whale watching? And secondly, give me some statistics that show that I would be able to feed my family because I'm going to give up whaling and make my whaleboat into a whale watching boat, and I can feed my family from the proceeds of it. Where are the figures? Show me how much money was made in St. Vincent and the Grenadines whale watching. They cannot give me any data. They tell me they bring somebody from Koreas and they also say, oh, you can make much money, you can make plenty of money, you can join. Tell me what you're trying to do. You evade taxes? You want to run away from paying your fair share of taxes by not telling me the numbers? But I'm not running, I'm afraid of that. Tell me the numbers if you want to encourage me to do what you want me to do. Or you want me to do whale watching?
Yeah, but
give me the raw figures.
There won't. There's no numbers.
They don't have any numbers.
For them to give you numbers, they will have to borrow it from America.
borrow it from Argentina. That's what they're trying to do. Extrapolate from Argentina and say we made $7 million and you should make 4. Not at all.
Right. They're trying
to walk that way.
You could imagine. No, you have to send people on the hill to find one. So maybe we can look at the whale from the bush. Maybe that's how they can do whale watching with big spike.
Rickson, don't say that. We've been watching whales from the bush for decades. Week before the last, I was the only person up by Duncan Hill. I sat down up in the rain. The rain bust my tail. I go home drenched, but I was satisfied that we had 2 whales captured. I went up there from the bush, and I sit down there, and I say, boy, you're a fool, shut up. Me alone. And why are you singing all blows? Blows! I said, boy, don't sit down. The whale come up again, and before I know it, they're bawling out, blows! So I'm shouting blows in the wind.
Maybe that's the concept of whale watching and speaking about.
Let me tell them to come join us in the bush.
Maybe that's the fashion.
Join us in the bush.
Yeah, in the bush, probably. And they will get more fun.
And tell us that the knees hurting. Let me put some steps.
Close up and
lead the road all the way to Peggy Rock. And put an umbrella up there. And I lay bar with the ice box and some cool drinks and thing. Let me go watch a whale up there.
I have an overseas number that sent me a message.
Yes.
And I think it's a funny one. The person said, it's a 908 area code number. The person said, we watch whale, yes we do. We watch it, we catch it, we watch it in the pot, and we watch it again on our plates. Now tell me, that is not whale watching? What is better fun than that?
And you watching it in all its glory?
In all its glory. In all its glory.
You watching it in all its glory. You can see the anatomy of the whale now.
The anatomy?
See how you operate?
Yes, of course.
Yeah, you can see how you operate now. You can see that is way fin hook on or whatever.
You know, the thing that baffles me sometimes though too. We talk about the whaling and how we kill, we hunt them. But in schools, in science, they kill a cat. They just kill the poor cat to do examination for science. So in the lab.
That is justified.
That
is justified.
It's justifiable, yeah. But
somebody said it earlier.
Yeah.
They kill infants.
Infants.
Up at the final stages of about a mother has a baby.
Abortion, yeah.
And the mother and the doctor determines, oh well, let's terminate this child after lifeboat. That is murder.
To the highest degree.
But whatever fits these people argument they're going to find, and I don't know why is the benefit behind this now, that this wing watching thing. Like I don't know. I don't see how where these people benefiting from trying to destroy a culture because you just don't like what is going on. There's a lot of things that is going on that you don't like, but you're voicing your opinion on that. But because it's in a certain organization now, you're trying to attack. I mean, that can't be right.
Rickson, I sat down with this lady from Argentina, and I said to her, let me give you a little historical background about Bequians. I said, on the average, Bequians fishermen may have some money in the bank, but the history has determined that fishermen do not take the money out the bank unless it is absolutely necessary. That is an insurance policy. They keep the money as an insurance policy there. And if they're going to invest in any kind of boat, it has to be capital that is ready at hand, that they can use. Or they get a partner to join with them and make it happen. I said to get a fisherman to go and build a whale watching boat is almost impossible. I secondly said, look,
it is impossible.
In our community, we have what we call a copycat mentality. I said, lady, walk down from Gingerbread. I was sitting at the Gingerbread talking to her. And I said, walk down from Gingerbread. Go down the B Street. You would see several vendors. But observe what they sell. Almost every stall carries something that is similar, if not identical, to the other stall, because we have this mentality. If you sell a whale tooth, I could sell a whale tooth too. And if you sell a t-shirt, say, sail slow, I sell a sail slow too. It's a copycat. We want to do the same thing. The mentality to step out into the unknown is very difficult to get our people into. So I said, because of the copycat mentality, if you, with the talk of having the money that you say Argentina make, buy a boat, bring a boat to Bequia, give the whalers to operate, and let them demonstrate that it could be a successful venture doing whale watching. And I want to bet you 20 or 30 men gonna copy him and do the same thing by the next season, because of our nature to copy one another. She says, I could think about it. They're still thinking. But I want to dupe us into doing what we don't want to do.
Somebody is making another comment here again. They are asking Mr. Belmar question. What?
I would endeavor to answer if I can.
Yes. What is the government doing to preserve the whaling in SVG in terms of financial assistance, training, and even the construction of a modern whaling museum to preserve our history and heritage? That's one. And two, I can repeat it if you need. Add to Mr. Belmar, the whale meat is not just the only activity. Think about the gas station, the water taxi, the land taxi, and all the vendors who earn from the capture of the whale.
I am with you,
Yeah.
all the way with you.
Yep.
I would have liked to expand it more on those points that you've made there, but because this is a panel, and I can't have the whole program.
It's okay. It's
Okay, go ahead.
But so those points that you made are very salient. The activities that revolve around whaling involves an entire community, not just 14 whalers. It's an entire community. Water taxis, vendors, fishing boats that turn to water taxis, the icebox vendors that go to the island. I went over to the island about 7:30 and met a fella there with a grill, set up barbecue chicken like crazy.
It's an event.
On the
It's an event.
island.
Can I say this, Mr. B? That is a national holiday in Bequia.
It's undeclared from
Yes.
the day I was born.
And I will tell you that people
It's
overseas
undocumented.
enjoy it. People overseas send and ask if they can get whale, come to America and into England and Canada, because they see it as not just a culture that was lost, but a culture that is gained, and they want to teach their children also, as you're saying.
Therein lies the hitch, in that we are given the right by the International Whaling Commission to catch whale and consume them locally. If we trade overseas, outside of St. Vincent, we'll be trafficking and trading in endangered species.
I was going to ask the question there.
So we can't do that legally.
I was going to ask the question.
Yeah, so if they want to make an argument that we haven't done it the Aboriginal way, I would assume that when they used to catch whale in the Holly, they used to just cut it up and distribute it and then go home. Everybody, go and bathe and wipe off the oil off the skin or whatever. But
Yes.
no, it has come it is so beloved by so much people, and people anticipate it so much that they will put down what they're doing to view the operation, the hunt, the chase. The chase in itself is an event. Now, just catching the whale and bringing it close to the show in preparation for tomorrow, if they can get it cut today, it's an event within itself, because just backing the whale by the ramp will cause a crowd.
Yes.
And
You
can
know,
you tell us
just-
Rickson
just-
also,
just-
right? Rickson.
Just anchoring the whale by the ramp cause a crowd.
Rickson, let me second that there. I was at the barber shop in Project Farm, and I realized that traffic was coming from between the clinic, coming back over Barrel and coming back down by McDowell fence, and I was waiting out. So I asked, why is this? They say traffic in Project Farm line up, and I saw it.
It was jam-packed
W and W
three
until we reached back by Parnell Gap.
3 lanes.
So you only had a one way.
No, Mr. Danny. I was trying to get home and they were backed up all the way up to Batten Hill.
Oh, you see? And also, It's not
And
just we as locals want to see, but foreigners, as one of the panelists was saying before, they want to know how did you catch whale and how is the importance of whale. And I saw Mr. Belmar could attest to the fact. I saw that a foreigner came and she said, "I would like to go and take a picture on the whale back." Mr. Brian Adams, I hope you hear that one.
yeah,
I want to.
hey, young man, hey, speaking of this, just give me goosebumps. No, you just think about
Hey,
that.
don't tell us.
Think-
No, you're not fit,
think-
you know.
Think about that for a minute. What better way to watch a whale than when it is motionless?
I did put it back. But here is one
Explain
reason.
that. What better way? What better way to watch a whale than when it is motionless? You could get selfies.
Rickson, I want, in answer to your
Right.
question just now, I want to read from an IWC document. It says, the use of cash in the Aboriginal subsistence whaling community varies from region to region. This is to be expected and reflects the modern world both with respect to costs associated with hunting equipment and whale products distribution methods. It does not imply that Aboriginal subsistence whaling is in any one community is more or less acceptable than in the other. This is coming from the International Whaling Commission. And this is not coming
But
from
these
Mohammed
people,
Al-Bashir.
as far as I understand,
They don't read and they don't know and they don't
organization that
understand.
these
That's the
people
whole
are
thing.
in,
They're locked up in
They
their
want
own
to
tunnel.
understand.
So they're suffering from tunnel vision.
they don't want to understand.
Rickson, let me get a scripture for us. Each man is right in his own side. That's what happened to them.
Yep.
Go ahead, Mr. B.
Yes, so
Yeah, the interpretation.
going back to the person's
Of what is
questions
right.
about what the government is doing. I want to say that the government has been making the opportunities available to people who want to develop themselves. I know the government has been working in conjunction with assistance through the Japanese grassroots program. And this Japanese grassroots program is extended not just to government organizations, but to NGOs or any group or person who has the capability of applying for the assistance for public use. The Japanese are assisting, I think it's up to about $3 million to improve the processing and the drying and everything else in Barley. I personally, working as the secretary of the Indigenous Whalers Association, was able to procure 89,000 US dollars, which we use to build the sample key processing station. And we're in the process also of seeking further assistance to improve that operation over there.
Wonderful.
We have also encouraged by even the former Prime Minister James Mitchell, made available to the Bequia Heritage Foundation at a very reasonable cost the sale of lands over in St. on which we have built a museum which was declared by international surveyors to be one of the world's top 10 small museums right here on Bequia. And we are currently expanding that because we are in the process of nearing completion of a facility that would accommodate toilets and bathrooms, air-conditioned library and storage area where we can put sensitive documents and the water tanks and so on. So we are constantly working on providing the museum facilities where the story of whaling can be told in its historical context. And that is done right over in St. Hilary through the Bequia Heritage Foundation and not really through the government. However, the government has oversight, I think, on the National Trust. And the National Trust has the responsibility of preserving and protecting the cultural identity and history of our people. So why then people who work with the National Trust going to tell me they are projecting the will of Vincentians by telling us we we doing something that is totally wrong, and we are breaking the law, and we should stop what we're doing. Where is your right to protect our cultural identity and history?
Somebody has
I think
blown a casket here on my message. I have, you won't believe it. Let me read what the lady said here. I don't know if it's a lady or man, I don't know. The lady said, or the guy, whoever it is, the anonymous person, a live lobster dipped in hot water to kill it and cook and display on. Chicken caught, chopped head off, etc. Cleaned and cooked. But mentioned above are mostly bought. But when coming to whale, there's tension. But I'm not seeing that same fight for children who I'm not seeing that fight when women and men are being abused every day by those wicked individuals who the beep whale is more important. I can't use it.
Let's keep
Yeah,
the
clean, yes.
abuse and the litigation.
Yeah.
Whaling is once per year. These ills are, as always, on my mind. I'm trying, because the text is kind of breaking up. It's always on my mind, so let me say it. All you who was smiling with
beep.
Yeah. And that man had whale blood in his veins, so to speak. You all were beep. Lord, hold me back. Don't let me blow the second steam. Red, cleaned, and cooked. Their lives no matter. All these animals, life matter. Boy, this world na level. You want to have all the say in another man's country, and even using our own country, big countries. There is a fight. There is this fight concerned with gusto and plenty. I don't understand that. Oh, the person needs to really yeah. There's a lot,
You see, that is why
what she's saying.
But that is why I'm against petroglyphs. Hey, Rick.
Yeah.
That is why I'm against petroglyphs. I think they should take it down and decipher it and put it up back in English. That now will cause a confusion in Simmons. You understand what I'm saying? You understand how the argument could keep flipping, right?
You know this song, Red Blood in My Vein? Well, we got to change it and say, Whale Blood in My Veins.
You understand? You understand? If I tell you, if I went to Simmons and say, okay then, petroglyphs, the petroglyphs in Simmons, you can understand the writing, we should take them down because it's very confusing. Now that will cause a big thing.
Of course.
Because that is people culture and that is preserved and it's stone. You understand?
Yes.
So why when the shoes on the other foot you can't see it in the same light?
Well, I even heard the argument that we could not call what we are doing Aboriginal subsistence whaling because the Caribs who lived here as Aboriginals, they never eat whale. Where are you going? Where are we going? Whether you call it dog food, or you call it Aboriginal, or you call it monkey hill whalers, it does not matter. The fact that the International Whaling Commission recognize what we're doing as a cultural, traditional, historical practice. Forget about name. You could call it anything.
Exactly.
The name does not matter.
And to point to Erickson, if we just come up with this thing of hunting whales 5-6 years ago, I believe they had a point, Mr. Belmar.
Yeah, there would be a serious fight.
Yeah.
But this is before
any of us.
Our great grandfathers were doing it. This is hundreds of years we're talking about it.
That's why I say William T. Wallace should be honored.
Yes, yes, it's true.
Yeah, but
I remember, Rickson, I remember before I was born, well, not before I born, a couple years ago, I saw something I have never seen before, and I don't think any other whale nation has done it. Rex is next to you, Rickson. One day there was hunting a whale next to small savan. Mr. Belmar, I'm going to talk. Small savan,
yep.
Rickson. And the whale lost the boat at Big Savan, and one of the guys on Derek Hill going in his face mirror, Mr. B. That's how he first time I have about mirroring. And he took his mirror and flashed it on the whaleboat.
Yep.
And flash it the second time, and the whale watch from the whale as watch what he was saying and go directly on the whale. That is culture. We don't see that here. But Miss I won't say that name again. Miss Mitchell? May God be with you.
Yeah. Somebody is saying that hello, sorry for being late. Okay. I don't know if I don't know what was said before, but I would like us to focus on an action plan or an action plans. We need to have an action committee between, by the way, to address such, because clearly no authoritative figure making no steps on our behalf. That's what the person says. I don't know.
Well, according to if you've been listening to Mr. B, you don't even need to take any steps, because steps are already being in place. Things have already been written.
I saw an article on Socialite from
in written.
Snagger. Yeah. So I think something is being done.
The thing is, the reporters themselves need to be informed.
Yeah.
Before, and they need to do what is called proper investigative reporting.
Investigative reporting.
Mr. Ben. Now, you're not from Bequia. You have never come and see how they hunt you.
Right.
But you're writing a one-sided story, as Mr. Adams is saying, and you can't come. What kind of investigation are doing? They're blind bat.
There was absolutely no investigation.
Blind bat team investigation doing it. Because what hurts my heart is that this guy is. I saw the article now on Facebook on Daily Motions. You know what Daily Motions is? It's an American article. That is reaching the US now. And he's saying, putting small Bequia, as the blackboard say Bequia sweet, saying that we are doing something inhumane. That's what they're going to say now. And these people, but I asked one question for the last couple of weeks. Who's going to stop them from shooting their day when they're time? Who's going to stop the shooting from the moose in their time? They have seasons. Why should Mr. Brian Adams come down and try to stop my culture before I was born? My great-grandfather was born, and saying that he's protecting something. And I did some investigation. I realized that he is part of a committee of celebrities. You have to be careful who you support. They go and have consort for this kind of thing just because they want to stop it. And he's part of the committee, Mr. Belmar.
Yes, I have did that too. And if you listen to him as well, in that same article that they put out, at a point in the article, I don't want to say that it said wrong, but what he is saying is that he is not judging someone's culture, right? But you have to remember that he also said that he is a Vincent John, right?
He is.
Well,
I understand it is alleged he can't sing the national anthem, so I don't know how he bypass or how he gets it.
Listen, I don't think his birth certificate says born in Mustique, St. Vincent Grenadines.
No.
Okay.
But you don't know how these things do occur.
But
he is also one that advocating for that is against jackfish being caught in Mustique Harbour as well. That is another thing.
Really?
That is going to hit the fan.
You can't catch them in certain places.
In certain places in Mustique.
You can't catch them
in
certain places.
He is one that is going try to interrupt these guys from catching jackfish in Mustique. That is a fact. That I have seen that happen.
But Rickson, I want to repeat for the Americans who are listening and those who are listening in the diaspora that we are only catching 4 whales per year. We don't only 2013 I think we caught the 4 whales. 2013 we caught 4. Chances we may catch the 4th one this year. I hope they do. But the Americans has the right to catch so many more than us. From the bowhead whale population, they can take 6 or 7 whales plus 15 more if they roll over from the year before. And from the North Pacific gray whales, they can take 140. So
yeah, but I don't know.
So why are you trying to say you want to trample us down and make us feel guilty because we are allowed to take 4 whales?
No, I doubt it's guilty. We feeling Mr. Belmar. We just a little bit annoyed and trying to play the atmosphere so
They
we
would
could do
like
it.
to make us feel guilty
Yeah, they would like.
because I can tell you they're having some impact on some people. But we have to be good ambassadors and try to influence those who are thinking like them, that you're not being a true Vincentian.
Yes, they're supposed to just follow. This whole follow up and the whole this conclusion supposed to come up that everybody should have their own opinions and then case closed. We shouldn't even go
Case
too far.
closed. I agree with you. Case closed.
Yeah, case closed. Everybody's is open to their own
Entitled to
opinion,
their
and I think
opinion.
if you
Yeah.
and then I think that is it for you. So if you don't, if when
and
you catch
we are not
it,
breaking any law, locally, regionally,
Yeah.
internationally, and
Yeah.
we are allowed to practice our culture. Well, let who do it.
right,
Case
and
closed.
I just got a joke from you,
and
Mr.
to-
Belmar.
Case closed.
I just got a joke from you, Mr. Belmar.
Yeah.
Here what the joke is, right? Over the weekend, someone was saying that they saw the whaleboat going out again.
Yeah.
They said, "Oh Lord, the wicked again." That is to see that the third whale was part of it was washed away. But now I learned that they picked it up down Western.
They didn't know
They didn't know.
that was an opportunity for more local people to get more meat.
Right. So when they said that, in my mind I'm saying, but if they get full, they should have the full.
And I
But
shouldn't,
then
say, I
you
shouldn't
know-
say local people here because that sounds abusive. I should say non-whalers.
non-whalers.
To go down there and cut off more the whale when they bring it back to shore.
So I had to laugh
No,
now
hey, but
because you are now
you
saying
think
to
that
me
is sweet,
that you wish they could
Yeah,
get
but
the
sweet.
fourth whale.
Nixon.
yeah, but in Mr. Snag article, in the article in Mr. Snag thing, he said that 2 whales were consumed from Saturday morning to Sunday morning.
He's right.
And only one was left overnight because it was already late. Over
Right.
64 tons of whale, he said. And that's just 1 week, you know.
Yes. Nixon,
Now let us think
you heard the
in.
figures I gave earlier?
No, I came in late. I didn't
let
finish
me go back
work.
let me go back over these figures. I thought
It's 64 tons of whale in
Yeah.
3 days.
Yep. For 40, the 42 foot, the 2 whales was 42 and 36. Right? Or 30.
Yeah.
Now the 42 foot whale would have yielded 94,080 pounds. The 36 whale 80,640 pounds. So that's a total of 174,720 pounds of whale. Now if we take 40% of that as meat and blubber, and the rest, which is 60%, and it can't be that high, go to bone and guts and so on. I'm only going to claim 40%. 40% means that we have consumed 69,888 pounds of whale in 1 day.
Man.
1 day.
Oh man, Mr. B,
Yes.
you shouldn't have give me that figures and I know I start to feel like I ain't getting enough. I feel like somebody robbed me, boy.
And people are complaining they ain't getting none at all. So
You could imagine?
we have every right to go for the 4th one.
We have a right to go for them every year.
Go for it.
We need
Four?
4 whales.
Well, I'm sensing that there's gonna be such a high level of hostility
Yeah.
on the catching of
Yeah,
this fourth whale from these
The
people who are
hostility,
claiming.
I doubt the hostility. No, but Rick, if you really check it out, you know, we have revolutionized the way. When I say revolutionize, the atmosphere of around whaling. It is not a cold atmosphere. From the minute them strike to whale key
Yes.
after, it's strictly a festive.
Electricity in the air.
Yes, it's almost like if you would say tomorrow for school, you would say I can't really do that right now.
Imagine.
The key is the most important. Like me and a guy had an argument.
Rickson, imagine.
Me and
I am the
Yes, but-
alternate whaling commissioner. I am going on the ramp to measure the whale so that we can get the statistics for the satisfy IWC's regulation. Everybody know I have to pass through to go to measure the whale, and I can't cut the whale until I work with the fisheries division and measure it. But the crowds are thick. I can't get through.
Thick.
I can't
And
get through.
they just do the measuring process now. They even the action now. They just for the ruler. They just people just come there for the ruler. Do you understand? They just for the ruler. Like a guy telling me now. Me and a guy had an argument that the whale gonna mash up the Easter. So I asked him why. Well, that is one of the reasons why I made the other video on Facebook, because I was wondering to myself, how could this whale mash up the Easter? No, you got choices. Now we're gonna see what is more important to the people.
Oh yes.
Which, in fact, now, as you said, the drone show you people park by Mr. B house. Go all the way down Jerry so by the cemetery, cause that is how much people want to come to see what's going on.
And Rickson, Sunday, it was not one side of the road.
Sunday race was cancelled.
3 lanes of traffic.
Three
lanes of traffic.
3 lanes in the
3 lanes of traffic.
But you could imagine what it was like trying to get through.
3 lanes, eh?
I tell you, Rick,
vehicles park on the right, park on the left, and you trying to go in 2 directions through the
Sunday
alone.
Sunday boat race. It is so important to people that Sunday boat race had to be cancelled. Easter boat race and Sunday had to be cancelled to convey whale.
Listen to Rick's now. I'm so ashamed to see it. Churches was half on Sundays when they Mr. Big and Lamb.
The sacrificial lamb, Danny. Danny, the sacrificial lamb in Bequia.
Almost empty. Not to say that the whole on question.
I laughing, but I can give you more than that.
See?
I go into the quay to measure the second whale, so I have to go early. I pass a certain church open and a leader standing up in front of the door. Shortly after I got to the quay, I saw the leader over there. So I said, what happened? What happened to service? He said, nobody ain't come to us. So I said, home the rest.
I was ashamed. And
no, he trying to put in the time so he could get back early. You don't know these people. He trying to get back early.
Exactly.
You know?
I saw people. I have a friend who came from St. Vincent. Here we tell me. He said, met him Saturday. He said, Danny, I don't know if so much you all love waiting Bequia. So why? He said, I asked him for a van to carry me low, but the man said, sir, I might drop you halfway because the project I'm heading. So when he turned off and he looked and he said, Lobby, everybody said, no, Southside, whale time. And people from mainland came down on that day, even in the cruise. The only body was in the harbour, Port Elizabeth. When I came from church, was people from
one time
and the next boat, I can't remember the next boat, Skyflood.
Yeah,
everybody else was on
one time I came over with a few sacks. And when I drop it, a guy from Canawan, I thought it was, came and he say, mister, you selling? I say, no, sir. He say, boy, you sure you ain't selling? I say, no. I say, I don't sell whale. That is, try to accumulate and keep as much as possible because we ain't sure if we catch in the next year. He come back. He come back. He say, mister, you sure you ain't selling? I say, big man, like, you don't understand English. I say, I ain't selling. He say, we got a piece, not even a handful. I just want a small piece. I said, but you can't do this. He say, this thing here, I need piece of curry, but so I cut off a little piece and I give him, and he light up. Like he got the real thing, Yes. I mean, one day now, when he can possibly do that, he have to probably do that in a frame pan because it ain't much. And he feel like he got something there. So this thing is not just, and it's not, and whaling is not just an activity. It is a festival. It is a feeling. It is a way of life. It is a culture. People anticipate this.
Rickson, I'm happy that you said that, right? What is so hypocritical about the statements made from loose? That's all I will say, right? In an article that I read, okay, I hear the people, so I'm gonna go to the Rickson, you there? You there now, Rickson?
I'm me.
So in the article,
yeah, they.
The lady said that in the past, when whaling meant something, right, it was done on the island of Pitinivis. At that time, there was a need for it, where families and friends will come over. Even she herself will come over to the island But since the Oliver families stopped the action from taking place over there, and they went on such a little island, hardly anybody can get over there, and it's not comfortable for persons. And then they prefer to buy KFC now. A lot of people buying KFC chicken, so there's no need for whaling. The same person. The same person.
Tell me your name, please.
You know connecting black people to chicken is a racial law.
Yeah.
It is.
Connecting black people as poor people as well. In this case, Bequia and the majority of Bequia is black people. Connecting black people to chicken as chicken wing, as watermelon is a racial terms.
Yes.
So tell me,
even for health reasons,
I rather KFC than whale. No place.
But the fact is, the author seems to have lost the knowledge that Sample Key was a traditional whaling station, and it's a whaling station that was operated by 3 of the most prominent harpooners in the whaling industry, namely Hillary, which was Clary, Joey, which was the youngest son, and Norman Olivier, which was my grandfather. So those 3 harpooners that operated the white whale boats, like the Mustique white whale boat, operated from Sample Key. And returning to Sample Key was simply reviving the historical, cultural roots of the whaling tradition.
Yes, and then it is you're missing. They are missing for many people that it is hard to get in.
Pull wool over their eyes and keep them ignorant, and then you can rule them.
You understand? Because if you would tell me that getting to Sample Key is more difficult, when I was over there was over 400 or something thousand people, and I don't even think back way.
No,
yeah, so I don't know.
Who took photographs could have seen that the island was literally covered with human beings.
Mr. B and to
Come on.
Wait,
and as Mr. Belmar pointed out earlier, everybody gets fees because transporting whaling, transporting people for watch, transporting people for the boats, that is a money. The vehicles is a money. People, vendors on the side is a money. I mean, it's a carnival kind of settings.
Rickson.
So it's a win-win. It's a win-win.
A speedboat operator told me, with other people in the boat, he said $5 a head to go up, and if you're coming back, you $5 to come
20.
back, and $10 for the whale. So it's 25.
And if it's still over there, too late.
$10, $20 to the whale is load. Yes, the whale is load.
Right.
Yep. You're paying $10 for the whale. You pay $5 each way for the passenger. So that's $10 to go there and $10 for the whale. $20 to go to the key.
And the price end up raised after in the evening, because when people go, when boats go home, if there's a dedicated boat day, like that sticking around to transport in the evening, like all after 6,
and
when sun going down, they will charge you like 20. They will charge you like $20.
You see what I mean?
Exactly. and
so everybody get a little piece of cake.
Yeah, I was saying to
a little piece of food,
when
man.
I came from church, I literally, Mr. Belmar, couldn't tell you if that island was in the sea or sinking, because there was so much people.
People.
Yeah. And when we pass, I think it's around Friendship Lobby. Go around. If they had 100 persons down there, they had plenty, because everybody was in the whale action. People from mainland called me. How to go over there? I said, I advise you not to go, because you won't get to see the whale. They said, no, we just want to see. We want to eat. We just want to see. And that, I believe, that's a tourist attraction right there.
You know, I would tell you what one foreigner that he owns a property on the island, said to me. And I wouldn't name the person because I know Miss Lucille's. Lucille's. Rickson name. The person that Rickson has christened Lucille's. I don't know the name, but I know the name Lucille's. Lucille's would get vexed with the person because they are partners. He said, I had my reservations about what they're doing, but I stayed at home with my binoculars, and when I saw what's happening on the island, I'm changing my opinion on what's going on. because you can see the involvement of the people in the cultural practices of what they're doing. And this is what Lucians need to do.
Well, somebody's making a statement here. Somebody's making a statement here to Rickson, right? Tell Rickson, I am unemployed. I cooked what I had and sold it to pay my rent. And persons still coming from other villages asking for more because persons spoke about it. Try see if I'll catch you next one, please. September soon reach.
Good for you, lady.
Well, the person,
If it's a lady.
yes, the lady, yes.
Good for you, lady.
But she said earlier that, listen to me, do not be fooled, eh? Mr. Snag responded to an article and we think that addresses the matter. But remember, when the incident happened in the presence of the tourists, the Prime Minister had proper explanation and calculations of how much money he lost due to such. So he addressed it and then but hasn't addressed it on our behalf now. Kindly remember, we are not invited to the meeting to defend our side of it. So they are only fed the negative. It is not an independent report. We need someone to defend us and see to it our heritage is not sold out.
I
Also easy to sell it.
I would like to respond to that by saying I have endured cold and chills and walking in ice up to my knees in places I've never been, I would want to go back to defend the rights of our people. And I'm sitting here now, putting my reputation and my job on the stake, defending our people, and I would continue to do that because I got whale blood in my veins.
Exactly. That is a man of the soil. No, I know Mr. B. I know Mr. B to be a man of. I was looking for him over there with his soul.
I would,
With his
I would tell you something now though that would surprise you. I do not eat whale.
Yeah, that
Enemy?
makes-
And
I
listen to
don't
that.
eat whale. And I defend my people and their rights to practice what they believe in.
Exactly, I don't eat it.
No, that is a man of principle.
Exactly.
You understand what I'm saying?
yeah.
People would see
No.
me. Every time there's a whale, people would see me leave the whale or the whale key with whale in my hand. But I don't eat it. The two things I do with it, I collect samples to send to the International Whaling Commission so that we would continue to practice what we believe in. And secondly, I send the rest to the other commissioner who go out and beat the road with me, which is Mr. Snag. I send it to him and he eat it.
So my thing is, if we following all the protocol, why so much backlash from these folks?
Because Rickson, the backlash is not coming from the International Whaling Commission. It is coming from NGOs, non-governmental organizations who band themselves together and want to hug up a whale. I don't know why they don't go watch whale and jump overboard and hug them. Go feel it, Bobby.
Yeah, I want.
Don't come and tell me we breaking the rules. You making your own rules,
Exactly.
and we are not abiding by your rules. But at the same time, we have to be mindful that money talks.
So this is just a stranger.
They are trying to influence
It's
government
a
into
stranger.
making decisions.
Yep.
These people are just strangers
They're just
trying to
strangers,
walk in your home and demand what I want to eat at 12 o'clock. I see.
but they have enormous resources.
Yep.
Enormous resources, and you probably heard Snaggy said it today that you
Yes,
just
I heard.
you can't buy your way through us like that.
Exactly. Somebody's
and-
saying here. Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
Yeah, go ahead.
Somebody's saying here. How Rickson is on the line. As in, you're making good points. Wondering if someone else is trying to call in. Oh, sorry, I misread what I was saying there. But the person's going on to say, hey, tell
Somebody
that
else might want
woman,
to call, yeah.
tell that woman, I have one good hand at the moment, and I risk it, and I went on that small island. She's sick, man. She's sick. And then she went on to say, yeah, what's the name you call as one of the harpooners?
You mean,
Clary?
yeah, Clary?
Yes. She said, yeah, Clary, my great grandfather.
Oh, yes.
And she laughed. Ha ha.
Oh,
That
yes,
is,
Clary was
that
a,
is
he was a
Sony.
hero. He was a hero.
Yeah.
And Uncle Joey was a